I think it was out of bounds, and no one is asking Stefon to be okay with losing. But I'm a firm believer that when emotion is high, logic is low. Trust me, I know. I've been there. Friday night, I was there. And I think the thing is, Skip, is that, Stefon, you have to understand, sometimes you just get beat by a better team. Has that thought ever crossed your mind? But you make it seem like Cincinnati snuck into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like they're like a 6-10, and they got this team, they got like 4 teams to lose, and they backdoored their way into the playoffs. You do realize they're the reigning AFC champs.
Yeah.
And they got better. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback this year than he was last year. Chase, these guys are improving. So it's no shame in losing. But you can't show your quarterback up like that. Nobody, I don't think anybody with Buffalo, because their expectations, they did everything they possibly could. I think being the general manager, he ran out and tried to retool. He's like, look, we're so close. We were 13 seconds away from being in the championship game and having it in our building.
Yeah.
But you win 3 straight AFC East titles, Skip. But you can't be in one breath, I'm him, when things go well, and then show this kind of emotion when things go bad.
Yeah.
Last year, the divisional round against Kansas City, they lost, Skip. He had 3 catches for 7 yards. Was he okay? Not playing up the standard. Was that the standard? Because you lost now. You had 3 catches for 7 yards, and you lost to Kansas City. Were you okay with that? So my question is, Skip, he had 4 catches on Sunday for 35 yards. Let's just say for the sake of argument.
How many targets?
Yeah, I don't know. 7 targets?
No, I think it was like 10 or 11.
Okay.
Wasn't it 10 targets?
Maybe. I don't
he had
have
his lowest catch rate percentage of his career in Buffalo, but go ahead.
So let me ask you, I want to ask Stefon this. Let's just say for the sake of argument, you still lose, but you have 8 for $145 and 2 touchdowns. Are you doing this on the sidelines? Because if you're not doing this on the sidelines, you're telling me it's more about stats than the results. We'll never know. Because I can't, you say you're okay, you got a problem with my reaction, but not the results. I don't know what the results would have been.
Yeah.
All I know what the results are. All I can base it on what you did and what the results are.
Yeah.
I just believe Josh and you have a great relationship. I don't get, you actually thought Josh Allen went into the game and says, you know what, I ain't giving Stefon the ball today, man. I'm going to show we can win without him. You said he got 10 targets. Bro, it just didn't work out. But I'm just a firm believer, Skip, having been on those sidelines and those locker rooms in those moments, I just believe that showing up my teammate, or especially that guy, was a no-go for me.
Okay, I got it. Agree with everything you said. All of the above, completely out of line. Even tweeting, it's just out of line. It's not a good look.
But he had a whole day. Skip, I could see if he tweeted this right after the game.
No,
but you got a 24-hour cooling off period.
Yeah. He might be another Twitter victim to me, where he's just reading so many responses, so many ads, so many mentions.
Yeah.
And he finally says, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to go bang, bang, bang right back at you. Okay, I'm only going to defend him on one count.
Okay.
That position he plays, as you well know, is the ultimate dependent position.
Absolutely.
Because you can't throw the football to yourself.
Right.
And you're a prisoner and sometimes a victim of what the quarterback doesn't do. I believe he believes that stats and results are intertwined, because he believes this team goes as he goes.
Right.
And you can make a case for that. So they're all part and parcel of each other, where you say, are you about stats or winning? And he said, I'm about both, because if I get my stats, we win. That would be his mindset right here, right now. I just believe he gets increasingly frustrated with his quarterback, because I've told you from day one about Josh Allen. He's a little too acclaimed for me already. He's already thrust upon too high of a pedestal that he has not earned yet, because he makes sensational hard throws, and he misses way too many easy throws. The routine is what Joe Burrow does, and it's why he's not that sensational to watch, because he just dealing, man. He just, whatever you give me, I'll take that, and then I'll take that, and I'll take that. And if you do give me that one up the rail, I'll throw it to Jamar up the rail.
Right.
But the point is, Josh will throw 2 or 3 balls a game where you just sit back and say, nobody can do that except maybe Patrick.
Right.
But the point is that
And he throws 2 or 3 a game. You're like, why would he do that?
That's what happened. So that's why he was doing this to him, because he felt like he was open way more times, and Josh couldn't get him the ball. And when he was open and he did throw him the football, he threw him poor balls that he couldn't get to or catch, or that they easily defended. So he caught 1 ball for 8 yards throughout the second half, and it drove Stefon Diggs out of his mind till he lost it. What do you say? Emotions running so hot, you have no logic. Okay, there's no logic left. So he's grandstanding, showing him up in front of the world. And to Josh's credit, he just kept his head down like this and never even acknowledged him.
Right.
Okay. The reason I'm torn about this one is I wanted to see a little more of that anger and emotion from my team in the next game at San Francisco, and I didn't see it. I think my team was very happy to beat Tampa at Tampa, beat the GOAT at the GOAT, and then whatever happened at San Francisco was just fine. I don't think any of them lost any sleep. I don't see any of them tweeting out of anger. I don't see any of them F-bombing like Brady did, because they don't care that much about it, because nobody is afraid of losing their job there. There's no fear factor. There's no Mike Shanahan coaching this team. There's no Jimmy Johnson coaching this team. There's none of those guys upstairs, because it's just good old Uncle Jerry, Granddad Jerry upstairs. And he'll be fine with this because he loves us. He's going to take care of us. He always takes care of us. Well, that's the attitude.
Did you see those ratings? Jerry's going to be like, did you see those ratings?
And in the end, is that all that matters to Jerry? I guess so.
What do you say about playing on a short week? Or playing on a Monday night and then turn around and say,
hey, we got to play on Monday night.
We got those lights. We got those bright lights.
Okay. He loved it. Okay. The rest of it's just business. Okay.
Skip, I think the Cowboys, the Cowboy players are upset, Skip, because when you get to the tournament, you win a game, you're like, man, we one step closer. We one step closer. And then the finality of it, because it's not like like a basketball or baseball game. We got tomorrow. We got the day after tomorrow. In football, every playoff game is Game 7. You know, they say there's nothing like a Game 7. So just imagine, Tom Brady is 35 and whatever he is. He's played 40-something Game 7s.
Yeah.
No other player. I mean, I don't even know if there's been 40 Game 7s in the NBA Finals, and they've been playing NBA Finals for however many years. Well, that's what an NFL's.
I mean, Jordan never played a Game 7.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, not in the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
but
right.
But so, Skip, I just, look, I get it. I get the frustration level. But I think after a day to cool off, had he done this after the game, I would have been disappointed that he did it, but I kind of would have understood, because, like you said, it is so fresh, it's so raw, it's so emotional. And sometimes we do, logic, we throw logic out the windows when emotion is high.
Okay, I got it. So he's saying, I'm not okay with losing, and I'm fine with him saying that, but you're kind of...
But that's not mutually exclusive to you.
You're indicting your teammates there.
Yeah.
Like, are you saying they don't care?
Skip, but I hate when, nobody wants to win more than I do. How do you know? What if the kicker wants to win more than you do? There's no way for you to quantify that, so you get to say, well, nobody wants to win. I'm not okay with losing. Well, who the hell is?
I would like to think nobody. But he said, want me to be okay with the level of play when it's not up to our standard? Well, obviously it wasn't up to your standard. You got dominated.
Yeah, because you gave us 4 catches. So up to our standard. So what about your standard? The 4 catches for 35 yards. So what about, how did Josh Allen should have said, bro, what am I supposed to do with 4 for 35?
Well, I know what he'd say back to Josh. You could have made it a lot better for me.
Hey, break a tackle. Be Debo. Be A.J. Brown, break a tackle and take it to the house.
Okay, so then he's concluding that he's become the scapegoat here because you're criticizing his reaction instead of the result, which was the big L.
Yeah, you lost.
Yeah.
But Skip, he's making it seem like the Cincinnati Bengals are so much more inferior to what Buffalo is. Bro, y'all was getting high on your own supply because everybody anointed you guys because on the first game of the season, you went to the Rams, the champs, and took them apart. And everybody said that's the best team in football. After that week, Skip, that's the best team in football. Oh, Rams, hey, book it. Rams gonna be. The Bills are gonna be there.
That seems like 2 years ago, but you're right.
It does.
Yep.
It does. So look, I get it, but bro, I'm just not one to show up a teammate. I mean, when we get in the locker room, I might say, bro, that was some bullshit what you did out there today. Now that ain't good enough. But not in front of the, because Skip, I already know and the cameras weren't nearly as many cameras on the side as they are now. So you can't do anything. Because remember the camera called Dak's reaction? Go for F and 2. Mm-hmm. The camera, they got so many. And they just paying it. And they got like 2 or 3 reporters on the sideline trying to catch. Well, I overheard such and such say this and blah. You can't get away with nothing now. You know, they got boom mics, so they pick up everything.
Yeah. So it feels to me in the big picture like the Bills themselves are just coming unglued after they lost a game in a town in which they are the kings because they are it in that city, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with that is when you're the favorite the whole year to win it all and you get here and you get a snow game that looked like it should be Buffalo weather,
Tailor-made.
right, for you.
How many of those we saw Jim Kelly in those early 90 Bills, those Bill teams, and Thurman Thomas and them and Andre Reed and Brucey, they just avalanche people to get you up there and do that.
They avalanched. They did. They live for that. That's what's called home field advantage.
I don't know what the stadium's called now, Skip, but Old Rich Stadium.
Yeah.
And they started getting goal, let's go Buffalo.
Yeah.
It was over. It was over. And I think, Skip, what did they say? They like, we want home games. And that's what they almost had it. It was going to be a neutral site game. Had they won and then had to play Kansas City, it was going to be in Atlanta. But you got what you wanted. But Cincinnati, bro, it ain't no shame in losing to a better team. I believe Cincinnati was a better team, is a better team than Buffalo.
They just are. That is true. I think the quarterback is a little better than Josh Allen.
If we do offense, with the exception of the offensive line, your quarterback, the wide receivers, you make it seem that, Jamar Chase ain't taking no backseat to Stefon Diggs, and their running game damn sure ain't taking a backseat.
Heck no.
So with that being said, bro, what? You make it seem like y'all got beat by the Texans. You didn't.
And as much as I like some elements of the Bills' defense, it ain't Cincinnati.
No,
it's just not.
Because they didn't play with the consistency.
No,
they don't have any big names. I mean, Hendrickson is a phenomenal player, can rush the passer. Hubbard made the play last week, but they just got a bunch of guys that's steady.
DJ Reader's a stud. Yeah, I think he's big time.
Where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be in the A gap? That's where am I supposed to be in the B? Am I supposed to be hooked the flat? Am I supposed to be in the middle of the field, half the field, whatever? That's where they are, Skip.
And in the end, the biggest game hunter for the Bills was Von Miller.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for them, he was gone.
Yep.
And he said after the game, I don't know if it was on his podcast or whatever, he said, we'll get him next year. And I believe if he's going to be back there next year, they got a shot.
Yeah.
Because he is it for that defense. He is the difference maker.
But he's going to have to pick up. It's going to take some while, Skip. You know, them knees, man. It's not like Von's 23. Von's going to be, 33, 34.
Boy, I don't know. This thing is unraveling right before your very eyes.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. If I'm a quarterback, I want to be in the NFC. You got Mahomes, you got Burrow, you got Herbert, you got Lawrence. You got Skip. It ain't no foregone conclusion. Jacksonville's getting better. I'm sorry, they are. They are. Mm-hmm. It's not like Cincinnati's going to take a step back. Now, what goes on with Lamar? Lamar's still in the AFC as of right now.
I can make a case that all of a sudden Jalen Hurts might be the best quarterback in the NFC.
You absolutely can make that case. I mean, think about it. All these guys are 27. Mahomes is the oldest guy there, and he's 27. So this we'll get him next year. Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain that's going to be the case?
Hard.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.